Hello friends, welcome to Truth of Physics. Today in this video I will discuss two very important problems on quantum mechanics. First one is from a quantum harmonic oscillator. The problem says us that a system of 8 non-interacting electrons is confined by a three-dimensional potential, right? 3D potential, 1 by 2 m omega square r square, and the ground state energy of the system in units of h cut omega. So we have to find the ground state energy of a 8 non-interacting electrons. That is, we have 8 electrons. So first we have to make the distribution, right? So we have 8 electrons, and this is a 3D quantum harmonic oscillator. Remind that this is 3D. Now for quantum harmonic oscillator in 3D, we know that the energy in 1D, what is the energy? N plus 1 h cut omega. For 3D, this will be nx plus ny plus nz plus 3 of h cut omega, right? The combination in x direction, y direction and z direction. Now we have 8 non-interacting electrons, right? Now we know that electron have spin half, right? Electron is fermion and its spin is half. That means the degeneracy of the levels, energy levels, will be what? 2s plus 1. Using the formula 2s plus 1, I can find the degeneracy of the energy levels will be 2 for electrons. That means the each state will be there will be 2 degenerate state for each state, right? Degenerate means the energy of these two states is same. Okay, so one electron will be placed here, one electron, and one electron can be placed here, and the energy of the two electrons is same, right? So if the energy of the state, what will be the energy of the state? This is suppose ground state. So the ground state energy of this will be what? Here if we put all the values nx, ny and nz 0, then we will got the lowest or minimum energy, that is 3 by 2 h cut omega, and that is our energy of the state. So the energy of each of the state is 3 by 2 h cut omega, but we have here two states, that is degenerate states. So the energy will be multiplied with 2, right? Now here, as this is a three-dimensional quantum harmonic oscillator, that means when we and we have 8 number of electrons, right? Now 2 is filled. Okay, now next two electron will be placed where? In the first excited state. Now what will be the first excited state? The ground state will be what? Ground state was equals to nx, ny and nz. This is our nx, ny, nz. The ground state was 0 0 0 0 0 0. When we put 0 0 0, we got the lowest energy. Now when we put 1, any of nx, ny and nz, 1 and the others is 0, that is 1 0 0 suppose, then we will got the first excited state, and the energy of the first excited state according to this formula will be 5 by 2 h cut omega. Now you can easily understand that if we permute these three numbers, then we will got also the same result, the same amount of energy for that state, because using this formula you can easily understand that. So that means that this and this, all these three states is what? Degenerate states, as the energy of these three states is same. So in our first excited state, whose energy is 5 over 2 h cut omega, and for the state is doubly degenerate, so there will be multiplied with 2 the total energy of this state, right? Now there will be an additional term, that is, you have to imagine that I have discussed here, as this is a three-dimensional quantum harmonic oscillator. So the first excited state, as I have mentioned here, there are 3 possibilities of arrangements. That means there are 3 additional degeneracies. That means electron is filled. Suppose this is what? This is a state 1 0 0. This is this state, nx 1, ny 0 and nz 0. This is one possibility. The another two possibilities is these twos. that is electron can also occupy the two levels like this, and then there the values of n's is suppose 0 1 0, then that is the same energy like this, there will be the same energy like this what I have discussed here. That means like this configuration there are additional two configurations. That means I want to say that here in 3D quantum harmonic oscillator, here this state, the energy of the first excited state, that means 5/2 h cross omega, this state is not only this, but there are additional to this and suppose here this, right. So the total, so this is our first excited state. As in our ground state, what happened in your ground state, the values of n's were 0, all the n's were 0 0 0 0, so the combinations or the permutations are also same 0 0 0, that will be same for, so there will be no any such kind of degeneracies, right, such arrangements. But here in this case, as here nx is 1 and the other 2 is 0, so here is 3 possibilities of arrangements. So there are this type of arrangements. That means our 8 number of electrons is fulfilled here. You can see that 2 electrons is filled in the ground state, and the first excited state is filled with 6 electrons, so the total electrons is fulfilled. So in our ground state energy level, which is asked in our question, what is asked, the ground state energy of this system, means all the electrons are in ground state. All the electrons, here you can see that all the electrons are in the minimum levels, right. 2 is filled in the ground state, that is 2 is filled in the lowest state, and the remainders, that is the other 6 electrons is placed in the first excited state. So all the electrons are in the lowest possible energy state, right. This configuration is the lowest, and if we give this system energy, then what happens, then these electrons will go in the upper states, that is in the higher states, and then you can easily understand that higher states will be what, 7/2 h cut omega. So when we calculate then the total energy, will definitely be greater than this type of configurations. So that means that is not when we give this system energy, then that will be excited state of the system. But now what I have drawn here, it is a state of ground state. It is all the system is in ground state. So the ground state energy of this configuration will be what? So this is what, 3 h cut omega, and this is what, as I have discussed here, what is here, this type of here for this, the energy is these two, and as there are 3 like this, so I have multiplied it with 3. So I think you can understand that. So this will be what, 15 plus 3, that means 18 h cut omega, the total energy. So the total energy of this configuration will be 18 h cut omega. So that is our answer. Our second problem is based on state functions. So in this problem it is said that a linear operator O cap acts as two orthonormal states of a system psi 1 and psi 2 as per following this, right. This is defined, and the system is supposed state defined by psi. Okay, the wave function is given. The expectation value of O cap in the state psi is, that means we have to find the expectation value of this state. We have to find this expectation value. We know that from the definitions or from the formulas that the expectation value, to find the expectation value, what do we do? Integration psi star psi dx. This is the probability, right? And to find the expectation, we have to just put the operator here, and there will be this. So this will operate on this, and then we have to just integrate, right, and divided by integration psi star psi to normalize. if it is not normal base. Now and in operator formalism, I can write this like this. This is psi sandwiched with O and psi. This, right? So this represent this, so these two are similar. Now here, as this is all given in operator forms, so I am using this type of formula to solve this problem here. Now this means the probability, or for normalizing we have do this. Okay, now it is already normalized. You can see that if we do this, that means psi star psi, so psi star will be what, psi 1 divided by root 2 minus I by root 2 psi 2. So when we do this thing, then we will come that divided by root 2 plus I divided by root 2 psi 2. So if you calculate that, you will come that this will be 1. Okay, to do this thing, we have to first do this operation. This will be operated on this, that means we have to find this thing, this operation. Now so we have given these things, so I am writing this root 2. Okay, now you can understand that when, okay, I am writing this all the things, I by root 2 psi 2 O, right? Now you can understand that when this is operated on this, will give this will give psi 2, right? From here, this is psi 2, so psi 2 over root 2 plus I by root 2 into, when this will be operated on this, will get 1 over root 2 psi 1 plus psi 2. Now and psi, right? And we have already find this, that means this will be psi, means psi 1 divided by root 2 plus I divided by root 2 psi 2, and there will be psi 2 divided by root 2 plus I divided by 2 psi 1 plus psi 2. Now when we do this thing, that means when this will be operated on this, then you have to understand that this is not psi 1, this will be become psi 1 star, and this will be psi 1, and that means as this part means we have to just conjugate that means this part means we have to do psi star, that means we have to make its complex conjugate. So here as this is I, the complex conjugate of this part will be same, just same like this, but there will be this will be replaced with minus I, that means this sign will be then minus. So doing all the things, I am just writing down the result, right? So when this will be applied on this, then this will be psi 1 star into psi, that means 1, and these things will be multiplied, that means I divided by 2 root 2. Now psi 2 and this, right? Here it is not okay, psi 2 into this, and here remind that this, when this will be start, that means when we complex conjugate this, there will be minus I, right? So this will be minus I by root 2 into this, that means minus I into I, that means minus I square means plus 1. So and there will be 1 by 2 root 2 psi 2 star, that means 1, and now this will be operated now on this, so this will be minus I by 2, as this will be then when we complex conjugate this will be minus I by root 2, so minus I by root 2 into 1 by root 2 into this, right? 1 by root 2, that means minus I by 2, so minus I by 2, and there will be 1. So okay, now when we rearrange this, so 1 by 2 root 2 into I minus I root 2 plus 1, right? That means, okay, now the answers is the options. Looking into the options, now 1, this will be rearranging 1 by 2 root 2 into 1 plus, I can write this like 1 minus, okay, 1 minus I into root 2 minus 1 I, okay, this is final. So minus, okay, so the option D is correct here, right? You can easily understand this. So this is the concepts. So for getting this type of concepts and this type of problem solving, subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon to get the notifications. So take care of yourself and thank you for watching.